Okay, we got a 99, basically a 98 to '02 Lincoln Town Car. We're going to be installing an amplifier. We're going to run the power right here through there. There's a booth, or you call it a grommet, right out here. I already removed the stereo. All you have to do is pry this thing out and take the 7 millimeter right there in the two hole right there, and then kind of pop it out because the radio was installed already, so I can run the RCA jack and the remote wire there, power there, and run it all to the back. In my case, I forgot that the battery is over here. I mean, I know the battery is over here, but the way this is, I believe this is 8 millimeter right there. You take 8 millimeter out. I'm gonna take just the ground out. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna take the ground out. I'm not going to run the power through here because I'm going to have issue trying to tighten this thing back in there. I don't want to replace this whole power, so I'm going to run it through the alternator right there. That's a 10 millimeter. So I'm going to take I use pliers, make it a lot easier to take it instead of looking for 8 millimeter, and loosen that. Be careful not to break this right there. So you loosen that. Once you get it loose, twist it around a little bit and pull it straight up. Start running the jacks and the remote. Try to go up there from there. So I'm gonna try to limit my wire because this wire is only 17 feet long. You got a 20 feet, you don't have to worry because this car is pretty long. I am going to run it like that from here and there. I'm gonna try to go through the carpet and cut corner right here, so I at least got a 1.5 feet left to work in the back, because I'm afraid that it might be a little bit too short because you don't want to mount it where the gas tank is at. So right here, there's a subwoofer right there. If your radio's got just one subwoofer SW, you plug a male, one male to two female. It's a wire adapter, and then just plug it right here from the RCA jack. And then also there's a blue wire. It depends on what kind of stereo you have. A Blaupunk, the blue wire is the remote turn on. If you don't have the blue wire or the blue and white wire, you need to hook it up to the red one. That's when you turn the key on, it will come on. Oh, coming over here, you want to take a blade and cut it right there on the bottom right here. You can do the top ones better, kind of. Yep, cut like this. Put an X, but be careful not to cut the wire. You can see that right there. It's hard to see right here, but yeah. And then all you do is shove it in right there. I forgot that I was trying to use a coat hanger or something to push it through right here. I thought it was harder than that, but it wasn't that hard. I haven't done one of these for a while, so that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, and push it through. Now you come to the front and reach your hand in there if you can. If not, your hand's too big, you need to use a coat hanger. Pull it about this much right there. I got enough wire because I use a roll of my wire right there, basically right there. We're gonna put a fuse holder right around here. Okay, because if you don't do that, it's too hot over here. I'm gonna put it right around here. I might, ooh, that can get hot, so I'm just gonna do it right here, so I can tie it. Or you can just, this plastic is too, no, you can screw to this one, so you're good with that right there. So we're gonna put a fuse right there. I got plenty of this wire, so I don't care, but since I'm doing that, I'm gonna just get enough of it right here. So now you're gonna run the jacks, the remote, and the power to the back. It doesn't matter what kind of tool you use. You can use a flathead and pry it out like this. This thing it's just a snap-on type deal. Snap-on, I didn't say snap-on, did I? It's just gonna stick right there. I'm trying to see if there's a clip or something like that, because I just pry it and it come off right off. So no, actually it doesn't have a clip, because what happened when you push this through, it's gonna catch on right here. So pry this out and it'll come out. And same as over here, just pry it. If it does look like it's gonna break, stop, keep moving on. Right here, see that? See, They don't really use a clip on this older one. Now I've done, like I said, I've not too many. There's a clip right there. This one does have a clip. So you try it out like this, or take it out, move the seat back. And we might have to move this seat because this seat is not gonna come out. So this seat, there's a trick to that too. I'm just gonna grab this out, get it out of the way. Now you wanna move the seat forward, and you can't do that. You gotta use this. So you gotta put power back temporarily and move the seat forward. I should have told you to do that first, but it's easy. All you do, put the ground back. Make sure I ain't touching nothing right there yet. So got the ground back right there. I'm gonna move the seat forward for that right here. So we'll move it all the way to the front so we have enough room to get on the seat. And I'll show you how to get the seat off, because the seat is tricky sometimes. Don't hurt your back, or don't break your back for that. I used to do that. That was a mistake. But make sure you pull this all the way to the front. Oh, I didn't show it. My video didn't show it. So basically here, use your knee right here, push it forward, and then lift it up with your knee again. If you don't do that, you're gonna hurt your back. Now once you get it out, just pull the carpet out a little bit. We're gonna snug the wire through here. We're gonna pull this back a little bit. You don't have to take everything out. Pull it back right there. Chop the wire up there. See that? You can literally pull it out like this and chop the wire up and go grab them. All 3 wire over here. I can use a ground. Basically not here. Can be right there, but I'm gonna do it this way. It's easier right there. I'm gonna do it from here and then run the wire here and hide it and go over here. Power wire right there. I should have go underneath right here, but there's this piece right there. I can take it down, but yeah, I think I'm gonna cut it, take a blade and cut this and run it over here and run through here. Do not put any, and I'll repeat, do not put any screw on here. The gas tank is like less than 1/4 of an inch right there. So you screw right here, you're gonna have a gas problem. We actually, I had one of my ex-employee did that happen, and we had to replace the gas tank. So don't do that. This is 20 something years ago, guys. So but yes, and he yeah, so don't do that. Now use a sander or anything right here. I'm gonna do it right there, just above this right here. See that? I'm gonna just sand it, okay? I can't do one hand, I might hit something else. And I use 2 soft taper screws right there. Soft taper screws got this piece, it got metal piece, so you can cut that. Voila. You had to sand this to the bed like this. You can literally see it, a shiny finger right there. So now that's it, and run it over here and hook it up to this amp. This amp does not have a line out bass knob control. I sold them a LC1, which is the universal one made by Pack, and that's gonna work great because we done a lot of them. So at this point, you got from the battery, you're gonna go to the positive side. The remote will go to remote right there, and then the ground from there, from the chassis over here, and then you got positive, negative for the speakers. So speakers got positive, red is positive, black is negative, and coming over here you just match it and then hook up the jack once it's done. So I got speaker negative, positive right there. So I running and set it to stereo. I didn't set it to mono because this is not a class D amp. Yeah, that's it for the back. I begin to do the crimping. You can buy this crimper at any hardware store almost. I know Lowe's for sure has got this one. This is a ring terminal. I'm gonna tape it with the tape. You cut this about 3/4 of an inch, and then you take this, you put this first. See, they come with 8 gauge or 4 gauge, so you want to push this out, and you want to push that in and loosen it, tighten it back. Now this is a customer brought it in. I don't use the AGU. AGU is a round fuse light I use an A and L fuse, so we'll go to the car and do this first. I'm gonna take this with me. Start off putting this thing in. After you tighten it, make sure it's tight. Slide that back in, or tighten that back in. I should say not put, but slide it in first if you want to use a proper English. So I'm gonna slide a wire loom right there because there's a lot of heat. Now with the battery loose, the ground, I'm gonna run the ring right there. I'm gonna remove the 10 using a 10 millimeter. Pretty tight, huh? Ooh. Slide the ring terminal in, and I'm gonna try to adjust it to that way right here, like this, and then tighten it with the socket. I'm gonna tell you why I don't like the AGU fuse. You see that round fuse? Usually it come loose like this. See that? Then you was wonder what the heck? Why is my amps not turning on? That's the problem that I don't like. So you basically have to get it really tight in there. And then, like I said, sometimes it can come loose, and then you just wonder if your amp's bad. If you don't have a tester like us, we got a tester, we can do that. So this is it. Just make sure the amp is on LP, which is low pass, and then you can turn the radio on.